Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Utah High School Hoops podcast. I've been pretty disconnected for a number of reasons. Number one is being freed from Instagram has been wonderful. It also means I don't get a whole lot of information, so I get to be surprised again, which is great. Um, but I've been trying to keep up a little bit here and there, following along with how the club stuff went during April and May. We're coming into the month of June, which is where all of the high school teams tend to play. We'll get into July, which when the club teams are back again, and then school starts and on and on. One thing I wanted to say though about these AAU events, these club events, is finding information should be so easy on these circuits. So you have tools available today, right? You've got tools like Synergy. And I'm not saying these tools aren't expensive. I'm just saying that there are ways in which a tournament can automate collecting the video. So maybe it's, Baller TV or Huddle or Synergy or whatever it is. You can collect the video, and then the video will analyze the game, right? And then create stats from that. Or you can have stat keepers at the games if you're trying to employ some people. It is shocking to me how little information is out there that's happening. And these things cost an insane amount of money. It's $700, $800, $900. I don't know how much it is per team per tournament, but it's a lot. And then you've got all the entry fees, right? You got to, as a parent, you got to show up and you got to pay to park, you got to pay to get in. There's just a lot of money that's there. And to have all of this with live streaming is virtually impossible to find unless you're actually at the tournament. Like, I don't have a student athlete playing in any of these tournaments. When AJ was playing in them, I tended to be able to find the information out easier because I had to, because, I had to travel and go somewhere. So as just like a person, it's so hard. It is so hard. And the thing that drives me crazy about it is the only real reliable data is coming from the EYBL, the EYCL, and the Under Armour Association, the UAA. I think 3SSB has it somewhere, but I couldn't find it. Maybe their gold has it somewhere, and I can't. In the world of information that we live in today, everywhere, it seems like I can buy anything I want to. I can get information. This one little area, it's just so mind-numbingly difficult. When do teams play? What are their records? Who won the game? These are questions that you cannot find unless you have the special app because you're connected to that tournament. But if you're not connected to that tournament, it's really difficult. So that was bothering me because then you see these things that are like, here are my AAU stats. And I would actually keep the stats for my son. Whether or not you trust it or not, that's another question. But I would keep it and I would track it and I would show it to him. And then he could go post it if you wanted to, right? But I'm his dad. I could make it up. There's nobody verifying these stats. And so sometimes they'll get tagged on a post and it's like, here are my stats from the weekend. Okay. Who can verify this data is true? Because you can create some clips and you can put it up there. And I'm going to say people are like advertently or, like they're intentionally lying. It's just there's no verification. And so I'm left with, okay, who did well? So I'm still running the X account and I'm like, oh, who did well? I really just have the EYBL and EYCL to know what teams are doing well. How do they do? That's it. That is it. There's a few players from Utah that are on the Under Armour, the Mountain Stars. And it's so frustrating. Especially like I know there's a bunch of teams on Puma. I searched for a half an hour trying to find out information about how the teams are doing on the Puma circuit. First of all, there are no individual stats on the Puma circuit. There were no records that I could find of how teams are doing. I'm sure that teams know who's winning and losing. I'm sure, but just as a regular person, again, like I can't get this stuff and it's so frustrating. And so I was thinking about this from the perspective of a college coach. Like if you're a college coach, it should be simple for you to follow along with the players that you are trying to recruit. And if it's not easy, or if you're trying to send a college coach statistics, but they're unverified, they're just made up numbers, then they don't mean anything. Just, oh, this is what my dad said I did. Well, your dad can say whatever he wants. Like, is there film? And can I put this through my own, say, Synergy to pull up your stats? Maybe. But why do you make it so hard for a college coach as a tournament director? Why would it be so difficult to get access to this stuff? Not only that, but it's hard. It's hard for media. It's hard for parents. It's hard for players. Just make it simple. And so kind of continuing on with this college coaching conundrum, I was having a conversation with a parent about his kid. And, I essentially just said, listen, a Division I scholarship offer out of high school is essentially a professional employment contract at this point. Like it's a professional league. Right now, today, it's a professional league. So don't stress that. Don't worry about that. That should be the furthest thing from most people's minds is how do I sign a professional contract at 18 years old? If you can, great. And there's a lot of players, particularly in the 2026 class, there's a lot of players who are going to be playing Division I basketball. If you can do that, then that is incredible. My suspicion is that for the 2027, 2028 classes, I'm not really sure about how this will impact 2029, but with the legislation changing so much, think about if you're a college coach and it's almost like every month there's something new. Oh, we're going to vote on the 5-year rule. Okay, well, what does that mean for my current players? This is in, May, impacting next year. What does that mean for, they can't play? Okay, well, then there's going to be lawsuits. Now, can they play? Should they stay in the portal? So what are college coaches trying to figure out right now? It's not how good of a 15U player you are. That's not how good of a 14U player you are. It's not how good of a 16U player you are. They might see you at an event. They might stop by, and your entire goal at this event is to have a college coach go, that player is interesting. Maybe I'll keep tabs on them. That should be it. Just, hey, they're interesting. Noted. That's probably going to be the most you're going to get from any college. And I'm talking JUCO, Division II, Division III, NAIA, Division I. That's about the most you're going to get because everything is changing. The landscape of college sports is changing underneath their feet constantly. And so their concern is what's right in front of them because the future is now murky. Who knows what it's going to be in 2 or 3 years? I don't. There was a time when college sports was predictable, and I'm not saying it was better. I think it's great that college athletes get paid. Personally, I think it's fantastic. I never understood why a really great basketball player couldn't make money, but a really great software engineer could at the same age. So I think it's fantastic. I think there needs to be some type of governance to help create some stability so that the system can get going. Because right now there's no stability there. But what that means for these classes, specifically the 27 and 28 classes, is as you are going into these live periods, you just had one, right? There's one in AAU. I believe there are 2 in the month of June for your high school team. You want to play your hardest, right? You want to hope that coaches are there. But do not be stressed out if you are not getting offers, even if this is your senior year. I was talking to one Division I coach, and this is what he told me. He said, if you're not one of the top 200 to 250 players in the country, you're not likely having Division I coaches that are actively going to be recruiting you before the end of your senior year of high school, because they're so busy trying to recruit the portal, keep their own players, recruit JUCO, recruit international players. Like, they're spread so thin that high school is so down. I've talked about this before, but high school is so far down on the list. And so what your focus should be is not the result of the professional contract, but rather it is to be empathetic towards what's happening, play as hard as you can, keep getting better, but be open to every available college opportunity that may present itself to you. Be grateful for every single college opportunity. Don't quote stack offers, right? Like, if you get an opportunity to go play in college in this day and age, you got to jump at that. You have to. You should be respectful to every single coach who reaches out to you, every one of them. I posted this. There was a junior college coach down at Eastern Arizona. He took a job as a Division II head coach up in Alaska, Anchorage. How many players were, he's just JUCO in the middle of nowhere in Arizona, so I'm not going to talk to him. Well, now he's a Division II head coach. Potentially will be a Division I head. Who knows? Just be kind to everybody, because they're in the middle of craziness. Speaking of being open to every available option, I'll kind of wrap it up here. This will be a bit of a short episode, but this is really cool. I saw this on D3 Direct, which is an amazing site in Utah. I've had him on the show before, and we have no Division III colleges in Utah. It's such an unfamiliar concept to most parents and players that it almost seems like an insult. Like, it's just D3. And what you don't realize is that there are these incredible, high academic, well-networked, like, go look up the connection between NBA front offices and Emerson College, a Division III basketball program outside of Boston, or maybe it's in Boston, Massachusetts. That's where Sam Presti went. So there are these amazing opportunities in Division III basketball. There are more opportunities in Division III basketball than Division I and Division II. Not combined, but individually. There are more teams in Division III. So what I thought was cool was, I'm from Colorado, and Colorado College just announced a four corners policy, which you should go look up on their website. Colorado College has a Division III basketball program. And if you go look it up, if your family makes under X amount of money, I think it's like $125,000 a year or $75,000 a year, you will automatically qualify for free tuition. And if it's under $75,000, I think it's even free housing and meal plans. That's if you qualify academically. It's a hard school to get into. Most of these Division III schools are difficult to get into academically. Now, Division III cannot offer athletic scholarships, which is fine. And I say it's fine because they have scholarships for, sorry, my emails keep popping up on my work computer. Shouldn't be recording that. Whatever. It's fine because you have all these other means in which you can get money from these Division III programs. They play a great brand of basketball. You get to play against freshmen, sophomore, junior, seniors, grad students even. So just be open to things like go research about what's happening. Colorado College is a beautiful campus. It's right in downtown Colorado Springs. It's an amazing experience. And I have a feeling that there's so many players here in Utah who could benefit from going to a place like CC and getting a fantastic degree with an incredibly connected alumni network. And you're going to go further than all those kids who are only chasing the Division I, the Division II levels, and they're just going after all that, and they're forgetting like the ball stops bouncing at some point in time. And when you have a great degree, which a lot of these Division III programs have, So do D1 and D2s, by the way. But when you have a degree, whatever it is, and if you've been able to get that for little to no money out of your pocket and you get to play basketball, that's going to be a win for a lot of you. So, hey, this weekend, no, sorry. Is it this weekend? Hang on. No, next weekend. Let me check my phone. We got the Great Western Classic coming up here. It's going to be June 3rd through the 6th. So go check that event out. It's always a really great event right here. There's teams that come from out of state. A lot of coaches show up for that event. So great event. Shout out to the organizers there of the Great Western Classic, June 3rd through the 5th. So that's all I got for you. Watch out for coverage. Will's going to be out there. Will Beck's going to be covering the Great Western Classic on Instagram. I'll try to make a few games if I can escape from the label kingdom. Thanks, everybody.